"15 years ago, this image of the bodies of 4 American contractors being dragged through the streets of Fallujah and hung from a bridge marked a fundamental change in the Iraq War.
The battle for Fallujah has begun in earnest. More than 10,000 U.S. and Iraqi troops who have surrounded the city have now begun to squeeze it.
When Marines moved in to pacify the city, it was one of the first times the U.S. military was fighting a major operation not against Saddam Hussein's loyalists, but against a broader and more committed insurgency. 109 American troops died trying to retake Fallujah, most of them Marines. In their memory, the violence plays out street by street, house by house, and room by room.
My role was an infantry platoon commander, leading a platoon in Fallujah, 3rd Platoon, Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. We were the main effort, which was expected to be thrust against the most difficult part of the enemy's positions, who was as close to hand-to-hand combat as you're going to get. 100% tight concrete streets, 3-story homes surrounded by brick barrier walls, which make the street even feel more constricted. The squad that I was with, we were finding all kinds of weapons caches and fighting positions, had not yet encountered any enemy. Someone from 2nd Squad, maybe a radio operator, reported troops in contact and perhaps at that point had reported some wounded in action. Myself and the other Marines in the 1st Squad showed up at this house, the House from Hell.
The Hell House is called the Hell House because it was, for the 47 minutes that action took place, the worst place on earth.
It's a 2-story house with flat top roof. And through the first door, there was an entry room, and then the great room beyond that, and then that branched off into several other rooms. It's dusty, dingy, natural light coming through whatever windows and openings there were. On the opposite wall from the entry, we stacked up was Alex Nickel, then First Sergeant Castle, then McCowan, and then myself.
The basic problem of that house is that the center room is what Marines call a kill zone. In that center room, there's a staircase that goes up to a landing and a 2nd floor. On the 2nd floor, there was an additional number of insurgents. Those insurgents were able to look down into the center room of the house and shoot at anybody on the ground floor in that central room.
As we went in, the stairwell that the guy was up was just immediately to our left. He just opened up automatic weapons fire and threw a hand grenade down on top of us. It went off, and I remember feeling the pressure wave go through my body. I kept moving, and I didn't even know that Nickel and Castle had both been shot in the lower extremities multiple times.
Sergeant Mitchell was the last effort that went in before the squad I was with arrived. There were a couple other rescue attempts that had been made prior to Mitchell. Those ended up with wounded Marines as well, also trapped in the house. I mean, it was just a total shit show.
Basically, the training says if there's somebody in the house, you kind of line up to go in. It's just kind of just like push, 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 overwhelm whoever is inside of a building you're trying to take. It was a lot of training that didn't work.
We need a new plan to get these guys out. All these houses, they have these big metal grates on the windows. Maybe if we go to work on these grates with this sledgehammer, we can pry a couple of the bars far enough apart where we can actually get in there. And that's what we did. I said, all right, we're going to occupy all 4 doorway entrances to this room that's got these spiral staircase where these bad guys are hiding up above us, and get some shooters in position. Once we'd established those positions, we're all shooting up and suppressing the enemy. And these 2 unarmed Marines carried these other Marines out of the house. That's a lot of trips through a very dangerous kill zone where we had 11 wounded Marines and 1 who was killed. So after we got the last wounded Marine out, we had the demolitions expert sent back into the house with a satchel charge with 12 sticks of C4 in it.
This huge mushroom cloud went up, and it was pink mist. in the mushroom cloud because of the bodies that were being vaporized. I don't know how it happened, but there was one insurgent still alive enough in there. His arm came out of the rubble with the hand grenade and he lobbed it and it bounced down the rubble pile.
Went right between all of our feet. We were able to retreat 10, 15, 20 yards before it exploded.
And then he was immediately dispatched.
We did our job in fantastic fashion. There aren't many who have been in that type of urban combat and walked out of it victorious, done their jobs well without fear. We lost a third of our platoon in an hour and a half. The battalion had some combat engineers and they said, "We're giving you 11 engineers. You have 2 days to turn them into infantrymen and then you're going back out there." And 3 days later, we were back out on the street.